What's going on, guys and girls? We're here playing some more Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to complete all the mission tasks for mission 37, which is the extreme version of Traitors Caravan. So what I'm doing here is I'm just making sure I've got the battle dress selected. You're going to need this for when you're facing the skulls, and then I've also got D-Walker with the Gatling gun. So he is a fully upgraded D-Walker, and most of the gear that I'm using at the moment is fully upgraded, so you definitely want some really good gear when you're facing some of these later missions, especially when you have to face something like the skulls or something like that. So as we're being heli lifted in, this mission has 8 mission tasks. They are no different from when you completed them on the easier version of this mission. They're just going to be a lot harder, some of the things. Basically, this one is one of those most annoying missions because what you have to do is you have to listen to all the conversations, and then right at the end you have to battle some skulls, and that can just make this mission quite annoying, especially if you die at the end, or if the conversations don't work, because the conversations in this game are quite buggy. So as you can see, I'm just placing a bunch of locations on here. So the last one was where the first conversation takes place. The first one I placed on was where you find the intel file, and the second one that I placed in there was where we're going to extract some of these soldiers. I think you have to extract 3 zero-risk security soldiers, and so that's where we're going to do that. So as you can see, we're just going to be using D-Walker. If you didn't know about this, you can actually just hold square or whatever button it is on the other controllers. So I'm guessing on Xbox it's going to be the X button, and you just hold that and you can just boost along very quickly around it, and it's just really easy. And so what we're going to do here is we're just going to make sure we tranquilize everyone in this little camp so that we can get in, see the intel file without anyone really spotting us. We don't really want to be spotted by anyone during this mission. It's right up until the end so that we can then just face the skulls very easily. And we don't want to mess up any of the conversations, because as soon as someone sees you, sometimes the conversations don't work properly, because just the conversations in this game are just not always the best at working very well. So as you can see, we're just going to try and tranquilize this last guy before he wakes the other guy up, and then we're just going to get the intel file. I am going to be going through it just like I did through the earlier first time we went through this mission. It's basically the same. You don't really need to change much. I'm just going to change basically where I listened to the first conversation, because when we did that the first time, we went into the middle of the airport, and we don't really need to do that. You can actually do it from the outside, and then you just don't have to worry about being spotted by anyone. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to head over to the location where we're going to get the zero-risk security soldiers. Remember, they are going to start out at a little hut just along the road here, and then they're just going to drive to the junction where they end up meeting up with the rest of the convoy. So we're just going to make sure that we let them go past us so that we can then extract them a bit later, just where they end up finishing off, where they end up basically getting out of the vehicle. So we're just going to let them pass so that we can get past them. I'm basically, for this mission, I'm not going to be focusing on how to complete, well, not going to be focusing on where to find each of the mission tasks or anything like that. I'm mainly just going to be talking about how to complete them in this harder difficulty. So for most of this mission, it's pretty much the same as when we did it the first time. It's just going to be mainly when we're facing the skulls, we're going to be using the D-Walker, and we're going to be using the Gatling gun on the D-Walker, because it's really, really good at chewing through those skulls with their armor on and all that sort of stuff. So as these guys get out of the vehicle, we're just going to tranquilize them all, and just by hitting them once in the leg so that when they all fall down about the same time, and then we're just going to get the last guy twice so he falls down quicker. And then as you can see, they just all start falling asleep very quickly, and we can just run in and get them all out of there. So we're just going to extract them. I am going to be using the wormhole Fulton device. If you don't know how to get that device, what you need to do is you need to complete the side op 50, which is extract the legendary jackal, or find the legendary jackal. You basically have to extract it, and once you complete that mission, then that side op, then the wormhole Fulton device will be available for you to develop. And to unlock that side op, what you need to do is you need to complete mission 31, and then you also have to complete a bunch of the other side ops. You basically just go through and just keep completing side ops until it unlocks, and then you'll be able to complete the side op 50, and then you'll just be able to do it. And you'll have the wormhole Fulton device once you have to save up enough money and all that sort of stuff. So most of you guys probably already have the wormhole Fulton device by now. We're quite far on through the missions. And so here we go. This is the location of the truck. We are going to be doing the listening from out here. So this is where we don't actually have to go into the airport. We can just actually go up here and listen to the conversation very easily over here without actually worrying about being spotted by anyone as the mission goes on. So we've also got the escort vehicles just coming across here, so we're just going to spot them as they enter the area. So that's the first one, and that is the second one. These vehicles are tougher than when you went through the first time because we are on the extreme mode, and also you're going to die easier just because the things do more damage in the extreme versions of these missions. So this is the exact location of the conversation, the very first conversation, and now we basically just have to wait for that to happen. So I am going to allow it to take place so that you guys can actually get a good sense of the entire duration of this mission. It is one of those longer missions because of the fact that there are 3 conversations you need to listen to, and the first one and the second one just take so long to happen. Basically, so as you can see, we're just spending a lot of this mission waiting for these conversations to happen. So this is when he gets onto the radio because the tanks and stuff have arrived, so he's going to say we are ready to move out. And once he has radioed in, that is when the other person is going to come up, and he's going to end up talking to this guy, and that's going to be the first conversation that we have to listen to. And so I'm just going to let you guys listen to that when it takes place. There is a little bit of a wait sometimes, and there we go.
Is jy gereed om te ry?
Enige tyd.
Dan val sonder die seil in elk geval.
Dis beter as jy nie weet. In ieder geval, dit sou kontrakbreuk wees as jy kyk.
Ek het gerugte gehoor. Dink jy dis waar dat die bose gees in Zambië jou siel sal besit as jy kyk?
Moenie die seil lig nie.
Goed. Jy is op pad met 'n rivier.
Ja. Doen my 'n guns en kontak die buitepos daar.
Ek maak so.
Rig steun my daar, kerels.
So that's the first conversation complete. Now, if you guys haven't completed the the easier version of this mission, I highly recommend doing that first. But you could also feel free to use this playthrough as your guide for that one. It's exactly the same mission, except for the fact that some of these guys are just tougher, especially the skulls. They're just going to be the ones that are going to be the really annoying thing in this mission, because that's only the really thing that's going to change within this mission. There are like some of the guards, you know, have full-on riot suits and all that sort of stuff, and they're going to do more damage if they end up spotting you and all that sort of stuff. But other than that, if you go through this mission without being spotted, you basically don't have to fight anyone until you fight the skulls, and then when you fight those guys, you've got Deerwalker with the Gatling gun, and that just makes this mission so much easier. It's still pretty hard on the extreme mode because it just takes so long for them to die, but you know, that's the nature of these extreme missions. So what we're doing here is we're just waiting for some of the stuff to happen, because we have to wait for the truck driver to reach the second location. So we're just going to actually just sit here for a bit and just watch them, because there's nothing else to do. You could end up heading towards the second location, which is what I'm about to do here. I'm just going to actually show you on the map, maybe I do, maybe I don't, I can't remember. And we're just going to head that way. So we've already marked the location on the map, so as you can see, we're just going to head towards that marker, and once we get there, we're just going to sit there and wait for the truck driver to show up. This mission has so much waiting in it. I mean, this is probably one of the most annoying missions in the game, except for there are a couple missions in this game that are really annoying. There's this one just because it takes so long to get through. You just have to spend so much time waiting for conversations to happen. There is the lingua franca one, which is so annoying because there's so many bugs to do with those conversations. That doesn't happen. That mission doesn't work very well. So that one is like the most annoying out of all of them. This one's annoying because, you know, you have to spend so much time waiting. The other one is because you have to restart the mission, you know, 10 times before you actually can get it to work. Or even more than that sometimes. And then the other one is going to be mission 45. I'm not going to spoil exactly what mission 45 is, but that's a hard mission. And then you've also got back up, back down. So if you think back up and back down was hard, especially in the extreme version, if you think that's hard, wait until you play mission 45. That one is crazy when you're trying to get all the mission tasks, or even just trying to complete it. That took me so long to do. So here we are now in the location for the second conversation. We just have to wait for this to happen. So we have to wait for the truck driver to arrive. And I think I just end up collecting some of my rewards and setting up some other stuff because you just got time. So if you've got time, you might as well just spend it usefully. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go over here, collect the rewards, and then actually add some more combat deployments. I've actually completed all the combat deployments, like the main ones that you need to complete, especially for one of the trophies, but now I'm just going to be completing ones that, you know, give me certain stuff, so more GMP or certain rewards like fuel or something like that. And then the other ones that just get rid of things like I don't like having anyone with, like I don't like directional mines in the missions, so I try and get rid of those. I don't like helmets in the missions, and I don't like riot suits, so I try and get rid of those. But in the main missions, I don't think it changes. It's only when you're going to be going around doing side ups and all that sort of stuff that you're actually going to notice these changes. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Because it seems like when you're in a main mission, it's always the same sort of rules, no matter what you do. So now the guy is finally shown up, so we are now going to be able to listen to that second conversation. These guys are all having a smoko break, probably because it's like around 9:30, I think it was, when we were looking at it. So now we're going to have to listen to this conversation. So I'm going to let you guys be able to listen to it once these guys end up talking.
Wat gaan aan?
Sien jy enige iets vandag?
Nie regtig nie, maar
Maar wat?
baie ouens het verdwyn in hierdie dele die afgelope tyd.
Verdwyn? Soos in ontvoer?
Weet nie. Maar het jy al die gerug gehoor? Daar's 'n bout in die Zaire grens. Blykbaar vol spooke. En enige iemand
wat ooit daarin gaan, kom nooit uit nie.
So jy weet daarvan.
Luister, jy loop nie en praat hieroor nie.
Wat bedoel jy?
Ek skuld julle 'n gids, so volg net my advies.
Ag, weet wat hierdie ou.
So there we go. That is the second conversation complete, and now we just have to head to the last location. So that is the location of the second conversation, and then just going to remove that marker and then place another one at the next one, which happens in this little village over here. So we're just going to do that, and that is the same place as, you know, the mission of Lingua Franca. I can't remember how you meant to say it. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to head that way, and once we get there we'll be able to listen to the third conversation. That one happens pretty quickly because it doesn't take them too long to arrive. By the time you arrive there, they usually are getting out of the vehicle and all that sort of stuff by the time you get to a good location to listen in. And once they get there and have their conversation, we're just going to tranquilize the driver so that they don't move, and then get close enough so that the skulls jump out of the back of the transport truck. So just also look out for any directional mines around here. I didn't notice any in this extreme version, but there's probably some around here somewhere, because there were some when I went through on the normal version. So just look out for that. You don't really want to run into that, because that can actually stop you from listening to the last conversation if everyone suddenly becomes on alert. The last conversation is not going to happen. So you kind of have to really be stealthy in this mission. It's basically a perfect stealth mission. You basically have to always do in these conversations ones, like a total stealth, because you just can't allow the mission to go wrong. You just have to wait for all these conversations to happen and all that sort of stuff. So we're just going to make sure we get over to this location. This is a good spot to listen in, and it's also a good spot to be able to tranquilize the truck driver, because we are also going to try and extract him once the conversations are finished. And we also have to extract the truck. So when the skulls show up, you want to make sure that nothing happens to the truck, because if something happens to the truck, then you will fail the mission, because if the truck blows up or something like that, then that's the mission over, because that's the main mission objective. So you just have to watch out for that. As you guys probably already know, if you've played through the first version of this mission. So here's the next conversation, and I'm going to let you listen in.
Iets fout. Ek moet jou vrag inspekteer. Hey, stop dit. Jy ken die reëls. Lig daai seil op en my kliënt gaan bedonderd raak. Dink jy ek gee 'n hel om? Ons het 'n ooreenkoms. Jy sal aangekla word van kontrakbreuk. Sê vir jou baas, hy moet die rekening stuur. Wat 'n hel, man. As 'n aansteeklike siekte om hier by te pos. Stroom af. Is waarskynlik dat dit deur 'n ander permanente mag losgelaat is. En jy blameer die FSA. Ek het dit nooit gesê nie. Maar op die oomblik is almal bietjie lig geraak oor buitestanders. Net een kyk en ons kan alles oplos. Ek gaan nie die verantwoordelikheid hiervoor vat nie.
Dit is CP. Laat die konvooi deur. Akka het ons geskakel. Die boodskap is: ons het 'n gesamentlike verhouding met zero risiko sekuriteit in hierdie saak. Eensidige optrede in die gebied sal nie geduld word nie. Eensidige optrede sal nie geduld word nie. Dit was Akka se bevel. Ons het geen ander keuse nie.
So there we go, that's the second conversation finished, or third conversation, sorry, and that will give you that mission task. Now we're just going to tranquilize him and then just tranquilize this guy so that we don't get spotted by him because he's too close for comfort. Now all we have to do is get close enough to the vehicle for the skulls to then show up, and if you do that before anyone starts calling in backup or anything, then it's really, really helpful. So now the skulls are going to show up. That's going to have a little cutscene that you can skip, and that is going to turn every soldier in this area into a puppet soldier, and most of them end up just getting knocked out anyway, so you just want to just look out for them. And then we're just going to mark every single one of the skulls and give one shot so that they know exactly where we are, and then jump on D-Dog, not D-Horse, and no, not even D-Dog, we're going to jump on D-Walker and start shooting these guys up with the Gatling gun. So you want to be careful with any of the guys that have the machete out. As they get really close and they start teleporting around when they're really close, you kind of want to make sure that they don't hit you. So you just want to really look out for that. And then also when they have those giant rock crystal things up, then you can just go into the real driving mode, and then that just helps you speed away and dodge any of those that they throw at you. So now you just want to just keep shooting at these guys. The Gatling gun is super effective against these guys. It does so much damage very easily, and you just need to just keep going at it. It is going to be kind of hard, especially if they end up hitting you. It only takes a couple of shots from their, couple of swipes from their machetes, and you're going to be dead. And it's only one or two of those giant rock things that they throw at you, and then you're going to be dead, because this is the extreme version. I also like trying to line them up as much as possible, because then any stray bullets that aren't hitting the one that I'm actually aiming at are going to hit someone else, one of the other guys. And you can also get double up, so the bullets end up going through one of these guys and through into the other guys. So I like trying to do that. So there we go, one of these guys is down, and we just have to try and get some more of these ones. And it just takes time. It's quite an intense battle, and it's so frustrating if you lose and you have to start again. If you're not trying to go for the S rank, I highly recommend trying to maybe do this on different playthrough than your S rank playthrough. But we are going to be getting an S rank for this playthrough just because of the way that I did it. And it took me a few times to get it because it was so annoying. Now your Gatling gun on your D Walker will end up overheating if you keep using it for too long. So that's when I swap over to my other weapon. I have got the normal guns. They don't do a lot of damage. It's just mainly little filler time so that I can still be able to do a little bit of damage while I wait for my Gatling gun to reload, like cooldown. So as you can see, I'm just trying to aim for the ones that are already at low health and try and whittle them down, and then that will just allow you to have less skulls running around and shooting at you, and you only have to, once you have 2 down, you only have to watch out for 2 kind of thing, instead of having all 4 at half health. It's kind of easier if you have 2 of them down and then 2 at full health still. And once we get the last one down, or the second to last one down, what we're going to do is we are going to hold off the walker, mainly because we're also going to be running out of ammo. And then we're going to use the sniper rifle that I've chosen. Now the sniper rifle that I brought with me is I can't remember what the first part of it is, but it's like the anti-material sniper rifle. And it is very, very good at killing the skulls. And it is very, very good, especially even if it's got the armor on. It does a lot of damage. So that's what we're going to be using. And once it gets right down to a low bit of health, then we can just start extracting some of these skulls. I'm going to extract all 4 of them. You only need to extract 1 to get the mission task, as you probably already know. So we're just going to start extracting these guys. You also want to watch out for any of those rock things that are going to start pulling out towards you. Like those things right there, because those things can kill you on 1 hit sometimes. So very, very careful around those ones. And now we're just going to shoot this. Now remember, make sure you do not shoot the truck, especially with that sniper rifle, because it will blow up the truck with 1 shot. It is an extremely powerful sniper rifle. And we have now got all the skulls. We're just going to pick up the transport truck driver. And now we just have to pick up the transport truck right there. And that is it. That is everything for this mission. And I do like run around and like, oh, I should pick up that tank. And then I was like, wait, I'm doing a video. So let's get out of here as quick as possible. So that's, as you can see, I've completed every single mission task. And now we're just going to get on top of this container and ride it out of here to get out of the mission area very quickly. And that's all we're going to do. So now we just have to wait for the score screen to show up so you can see exactly what score I got for playing that mission like I did. And you don't get a massive score because you spent so long in the mission, but you get enough of a score because, you know, I extracted the skulls, I finished all the mission tasks and all that sort of stuff. And I got perfect stealth and all that sort of stuff. So there we go, we get 200,000 points, so that's a lot more than I actually thought I got. And we only needed 130 to get the S rank, so we got the S rank real easy. And that's all we're going to do for this video. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys have now got all the mission tasks for this video, or for this mission, and hopefully a lot of the other mission tasks. This is actually getting closer to the end of all of the missions that I have to do. So thank you guys for watching. Now it's time for me to say see you guys and girls, and hopefully see you in the next video.